Hey Shane, thanks for your time.
Pleasure.
Hey, can you just tell us a bit about your involvement in the festival here?
Yeah, well, I've been involved with it's the inaugural, or let's just say the first. I don't want to use big words when a more superlative one would have sufficed. But it's the first Australian motoring festival. It's, motoring shows of the past have kind of they needed to evolve. They need to be far more interactive, and as you know, the internet has kind of made it easier for people to, when I was a kid, when most people were children, to see a Ferrari, you didn't have the option of typing the word Ferrari or Lamborghini into the internet and having it come up right there instantly. So when I was a kid, a motor show was the only opportunity you had to get close to cars. But now the internet's changed all that, so you can see cars easily. But as far as being able to see them up close and see them moving and get in, if you want to buy a car at this festival, you can try to see what ABS is all about and actually get out on the track. If you're interested in four-wheel driving, there's a four-wheel drive track. But having said all that, behind me here, there's also some classic cars. As much as motor shows are about showing the new cars and new technologies available, we've also got to look back at history. You've got to celebrate the past. The horizon is exciting looking forward, but looking over your shoulder is pretty nice too, and that's why it's called history. So there's an element of that. Also, two wheels. It's great to have motorbikes here as well. But having said that, there's remote control cars and there's kids rides. I mean, it is a festival. It has the word festival as well. So hence the fact. At the moment, the noise you're all hearing in the background, folks, while you're watching this, is there's a band playing over there. There's an auction about to start over there, so people can buy cars. So, I mean, it really is. It's if this was going to be a veggie garden, then what we're standing in is a tossed salad. It's got a bit of everything going on, and some herbs and spices thrown in with it. So it's a great festival, and it's the first of what we plan to be, many, many, many more. And we hope it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for that. Now, Brian has obviously invited Salvo Resto guys here today to be part of the history that moves. How important is it for young guys to kind of connect into hands-on learning?
Yeah, look, Salvo Resto and Brian Tanti together are doing a fantastic job, and the reason it's so important for young people, and it doesn't have to just be young people. It's important for everyone to sort of get involved in a project like this and learn some skills, and that's why I guess it more is the young people we focus on with this, which is. Number one, the skills that Brian's learning here can help them. It's not just about getting an engine to go and being a rev head or getting a car out in a car park and doing burnouts. That's not what it's about at all. What this is about young kids getting the skills that can rebuild a car, which is what's happening in the background right behind us with the old Holden. Is get something that's dare I say it, that's worn down, that's cast aside. That's rusting, is no longer in its years of brilliance, and bringing it back to life. And what I find amazing about that, without getting too deep into it, is while that car is being restored, there are some children who are part of the process, who are growing up with the process. By the time the car's finished, it's not just the car that's been restored, it's not just the car that's been rebuilt, it's not just the car that now is ready to drive in perfect controlled conditions, but the kids that worked on the car leave in exactly the same state. And that is, it teaches a whole bunch of things. It teaches pride. It requires skill, as I've said, but it requires patience and a little bit of a calm temperament to realise that things won't happen overnight. And when people think about cars, I don't think people think in those terms. But the reality is that the young guys who are working with Brian Tanti on this car, I've met them here and been talking to them at the show. Some of them here, they're even operating the equipment that's filming that. While other kids are out there, possibly with finding themselves bored with nothing to do, which is a sentence that never made sense to me, because I have always viewed the world as a place that's jam-packed with so many things to do. My one dream is to live to be 400 years old, so I maybe get a chance to do all of them at least once. That's how I see the world, and it's just so great, meeting the guys here that are working with Brian. They've got a passion to see this project through, and this won't happen overnight. And this is going to take a whole lot of care. But not only that, it's going to take handing the responsibility of building it to the kids that are working on it, and they're going to do it brilliantly. They already have. Already, there's progress being made. So I couldn't be more thrilled and excited for Salvo Resto. It's not just going to restore cars. It's going to restore lives, and that's brilliant. What could possibly go wrong with that? Nothing is the answer. It's a perfect solution. And I must admit, I'm probably a little bit overly passionate about it because it's a Holden they're doing up, without saying too much. It would be okay if they did a Ford up too. There's nothing wrong with that. But as we know, Ford is the cousin of Holden. But at this party, Holden runs it.
Thanks, Shane. That's awesome.
No
Thank
worries.
you very much.
Cheers,
Good
mate.
on you guys.
Thanks, guys.